Up to 26% of women in Malaysia between the age of 15 to 44 have this problem. And the worst part is 70% of them remain undiagnosed. They don't even know they have this problem. And this is one of the main reasons for infertility in women. What is this problem? The polycystic ovary syndrome. Now, it's called the syndrome because there's a group of symptoms which occur at the same time. These are the presence of cysts in the ovaries, high amount of testosterone or male hormones in women, and irregular or skipped periods in women. So without wasting any time at all, let's get to know what exactly is PCOS, how it happens, what are the symptoms of PCOS, and also how to treat PCOS. Polycystic ovary syndrome or PCOS is basically an imbalance of sex hormones in women. But to understand this clearer, we need to understand how the normal menstrual cycle actually works in women. Most of us were actually taught this in school when we were, I think, in Form 3. But I'm pretty sure most of us have forgotten about it. So today, let's just do a small recap of how the normal menstruation works and how PCOS actually happens. Unlike men, women are born with a set number of eggs in them. That means there's only so many times they can reproduce, unlike men who can keep producing sperm over and over again. And all these eggs are stored in the ovaries, the female reproductive organ. And all these eggs are stored inside this tiny balloon, a fluid-filled sac called follicles. Now, what happens every month is the brain will send a set of hormones down to the female reproductive organ. These are the follicle-stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. The follicle-stimulating hormone, as the name suggests, the job of it is to stimulate these follicles, this tiny fluid-filled sac, these tiny balloons inside the ovaries. So every once a month, the brain releases this follicle-stimulating hormone, and these hormones goes into the bloodstream and start stimulating hundreds of small follicles to start maturing. And as they are maturing, as they are growing and growing, they'll start producing another hormone called estrogen. And this estrogen is a feedback to the brain again. So once the brain detects that the estrogen level is going up, the brain will release luteinizing hormone. And the job of this luteinizing hormone is, as I said earlier, hundreds of eggs are maturing. So this luteinizing hormone will go see which one of these eggs are the most mature, open up the balloon, open up the follicle, and release the ova into the fallopian tube. And this egg will move all the way through the fallopian tube to the uterus. If there is fertilization, that means if the women had sex, if they had copulation, and there's a sperm present there, it will fertilize and the baby will start growing in the womb. But if there is no fertilization, like most of the time for most women, menstruation happens. That means the uterus will shed itself, shed the lining, and get rid of this egg. As this happens, all the other eggs earlier, those which never got released, will start to dissolve and disappear. Now, what happens in PCOS is there's a problem in all these hormone levels. That means the brain is producing abnormally high amount of luteinizing hormone. It's either producing too much of it or releasing it too frequently. When this happens, as you already know, hundreds of eggs are maturing. But if the luteinizing hormone is too much, now these eggs can't really mature and can't be released. So when this happens, ovulation does not happen. Ovulation is the process I mentioned earlier where the follicle opens up and the egg moves through the fallopian tube. This is the period where a woman is most fertile. But if the luteinizing hormone is too much and too erratic, this does not occur. So no egg is released into the uterus and no fertilization will occur. And this is one of the reasons why women are infertile if they have PCOS. At the same time, because no egg is released, these follicles earlier, the hundreds of follicles which had eggs inside start to mature. These do not get dissolved and they remain as these tiny balloons there. And this tiny fluid-filled sac is what we call as a cyst. Hence the name the polycystic ovary syndrome. Poly means many and cyst means this small balloon. Another thing which occurs in PCOS is peripheral insulin resistance. There are many articles out there debating whether PCOS causes insulin resistance or insulin resistance is the one causing PCOS. I haven't done complete research on that yet, so I would not like to comment on that as of yet. But regardless, most women with PCOS have insulin resistance. Now, here's a question for you all. Having insulin resistance predisposes someone to diabetes. So, if you've watched my videos before, please do comment down below what type of diabetes does this cause. Don't answer this if you're a doctor, please. And if you manage to answer this question correctly, I'll give a shout out to you and your business. Whatever business you may be doing, I'll promote it here on this channel. So the question is, women with PCOS have insulin resistance. So when someone has insulin resistance, what sort of diabetes can they have? Let me make it easier for you. I'll give you answer options. Option 1, diabetes type 1. Option 2, diabetes type 2. And option 3, diabetes insipidus. So don't forget to comment, yeah? Okay, back to topic. So when there's high level of insulin in the body and there's high level of luteinizing hormone in the body, this predisposes the body to produce more testosterone, which is the male hormone. And this is another reason which prevents ovulation, on top of being one of the main source of most of the clinical symptoms, most of the physical feature we see in women with polycystic ovary syndrome. These physical features are having a lot of acne, having a lot of pimples, male pattern baldness in women, having facial hair in women, having chest hair, abdominal hair, and back hair in women. Having PCOS increases the risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and endometrial cancer. Unfortunately though, we do not have any cure for PCOS. But the good news is, we do have treatment for PCOS. We can manage the condition. We can regularize your menstrual cycle. We can help you be fertile again. We can help you have a baby. And this is done through, first, hormonal birth control pills. On top of preventing you from becoming pregnant, hormonal pills also help regulate your menstrual cycle. That means it will control how much and when the hormones are released from your brain, so that your menstrual cycle is more proper. Number 2, you can have anti-androgen drugs. That means to oppose the effects of this male hormone in your body. Like I said earlier, you'll have high amount of testosterone in your body. So these drugs help counter the effects of high testosterone. Next is diabetes drugs. That means, like I said, you have high insulin resistance. That means your body can't actually accept the insulin, can't use the insulin. So we'll give you drug, and here's a tip for the question earlier. The drug's name is metformin. So we'll give you this drug to increase the sensitivity of your cells to the insulin. And finally, fertility medication to help you ovulate and help you have child. If all this medical treatment don't work, we also have surgical treatment which is called laparoscopic ovarian drilling. Basically, the doctor will poke 2 holes in your stomach, put a camera in and put a needle in, and using electricity on the needle, he'll poke on the ovaries, especially at the places which are producing high amount of testosterone. And over time, this level of testosterone will drop, which will help you be more fertile. And that is everything you need to know about polycystic ovary syndrome. If you found this video to be valuable, if you learned anything at all from this video, please do share this with your friends and family members, especially your female friends and family members. Because as I said, 70% of women remain undiagnosed. And a lot of women out there, even though they're having irregular periods or they miss their period, it doesn't seem to be a big issue to them because they think that it's normal for them. But please do go and get it checked out, because you don't know why your period is irregular or why you're missing your periods. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do smash the subscribe button right there, and please do click the bell icon, because YouTube's algorithm is changing all the time and we want to make sure our videos come and reach you. And until the next informative video, and anything you do, please do your best and be the best version of yourself. Bye bye.